Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to actually this is the fourth video, but this will all be about syntax na po. No, earlier I have discussed diction, which is of course the kind of words that you choose no when you write something. No, there are kinds of dictions earlier nga akong discuss, which is ang informal and formal kinds of diction. In informal, daghan you have slang, colloquialism, jargons, which are also used in casual or daily conversations. But for those who are going to address um, the person who is in authority, or for example their superior, so most probably no formal ang ato ang gamiton. So that was already discussed no sa atong previous three videos nako about diction. This time I will be discussing syntax. Okay, so let us first define first syntax. No, let us first define first. So syntax, in a much the same way that authors consider their word choice very carefully, they also consider how the words are arranged. So diction and syntax actually goes together. Diction is how you choose your words, no? Depending on sa man ang imong intent. Like for example, your purpose is to inform a certain person, and then that person is your superior, then most probably you're going to choose words nga for mga formal nga words, no, formal diction. If I'm just going to have a very casual conversation with my friends, then most probably I'm just gonna go with personally, I'm just gonna go with um informal. So in syntax, it's how you arrange the words in a sentence. Now, how they are arranged. There are sometimes kas nga bali-bali siya. No, so the construction of the sentences is referred to as syntax. When I'm speaking to you now, actually this is already a form of syntax class because I am arranging the words in my head, and then how will I deliver it to you? So may times magbali-bali akong syntax, no? Nya usay ma-taken aback ko kay, pag di man to mao akong gisulti. Ano ba? No? Nya because we are not native speakers of the English language, no? And sometimes we also have mistakes in formulating our sentences, and sometimes it's really difficult because your words, your thoughts, you have to translate them to English pa, and then you have to speak it. So sometimes no, your syntax is kuan siya in a disarray. So let's now proceed to the sentence structure of syntax. Now, so there are different kinds of sentence structures as syntax class. You have telegraphic, you have short, you have medium, and long and involve. So in telegraphic, that is shorter than 5 words. So most probably they're just gonna, like, most especially if you're going to use informal, no nga shorten siya tanan. So the telegraphic ka yung sentence structure. You have short, like approximately 5 words on length. You have medium, approximately 18 words in length, and you have long and involved, which is 30 or more words in length. For a while. Okay, so ang medium, approximately 18 words in length, and long and involved is 30 or more words in length. Ako na siyang repeat. Okay, let's now proceed to the next sentence patterns. So there are also different kinds of sentence patterns class. In syntax, you have the structure, which is pila ka words in a sentence. And a sentence pattern is how are the words arranged in a sentence. So you have a declarative sentence, an imperative, an interrogative, and an exclamatory sentence pattern. In declarative, so for example, it makes a statement. Like for example, the king is sick. Next is an imperative sentence gives a command, cure the king. So, ang declarative is just a statement. So, ang sa imperative is more siya ka ng nag-command, no? Hatag siya, wala po siya na malihog, sugo din siya dito, no? So, cure the king. Ang declarative is more of a sentence, like, the king is sick. Or straight to siya nga statement. Ang interrogative is, it asks the question, is the king sick? So, more siya on, ga-ask siya, no, nangutana siya, and i-clarify if nagmasakit ba ang hari. Ang exclamatory is, conjug strong emotions, like, the king is dead! Oh, so, minyan ang murag, out of disbelief, no? Exclamation point. Napoy usa nga, out of out of gratitude kay naayo ang king. So long live the king. So out of gratitude because naayo ang king, so moingon din siya of long live the king. So mo na siya. Ang declarative is statement form. Ang imperative is more on command. Nugo ka. Ang interrogative is nag-ask og question. Ang exclamatory is express og strong emotions. It may be disbelief, grief, surprise, anger, as long as strong emotion siya. Lahi siya sa imperative klase because ang imperative is more on gakuman ka, gasugo jud ka, no ga-demand ka. So another example of sentence patterns are kaning simple sentence, compound, complex, and compound complex. Ang simple sentence class, contain siya og one independent clause, meaning a clause that can stand alone, like the singer bowed to her adoring audience. So that alone, no, sabotable na siya, no, na siya independent clause. Ang compound, it contains two independent clauses that can stand alone, joined by a coordinating conjunction or by a semicolon. So a conjunction is like but or therefore. On the other hand, so the singer bowed to the audience, but she sang no encore. So that's a compound sentence bound by a semicolon or by a conjunction. Next is a complex sentence. A complex sentence contains an independent clause and one or more subordinate clauses. Because the singer was tired, she went straight to bed after the concert. So naa siya independent clause and subordinate clauses or dependent clauses. So because the singer was tired, that is a subordinate clause, then she went straight to bed after the concert. Kay a compound complex contain siya og two or more independent clauses and only one subordinate clauses. Si complex, one independent clause and then one or two subordinate clauses. Si compound complex is two or more independent clauses pero one or more pod nga subordinate clauses. O sara si independent clause sa complex, duha siya sa compound complex. So an example, the singer bowed while the audience applauded, but she sang no encores. So that's an example of compound complex. A loose or cumulative sentence, on the other hand, makes a complete sense if brought to a close before the actual ending. So, before di mo basa ang end sa paragraph or sa sentence, makasabot na ka sa story because nauna na ang iyahang murag climax or ang murag ang closing niya ko na sa sinugdanan. So, pagbasa pa lang nimo class ka gets na ka sa dibuk story maski hindi pa nimo basahon ang end nga words ani nga paragraph or ani nga sentence. Like for example, we reached Edmonton that morning after a turbulent flight and some exciting experiences. Even if di pa ka mubasa sa tired but exhilarated, makasabot na ka nga nakaabot sila sa Edmonton after nga naka-experience sila og turbulent flight and exciting experiences. So, nakasabot ka diri, pero basahon na lang dyan nato, no? So, tired but exhilarated, full of stories to tell our friends and neighbors. So, mas nauna ang katong murag pasabog niya sa sentence kay sa sinugdanan rather than having it in the end. So, even if di pa nimo basahon tanan, mag-gets na nimo unsa ang katong story or it makes sense, no? Misking wala pa ka naabot sa pinaka-end sa paragraph. Okay, next, a periodic sentence makes sense fully when the end of the sentence is reached. Bali siya sa loose or cumulative. Si periodic is, basahon pa nimo siya tanan before nimo masabtan. So, for example, that morning, after a turbulent flight and some exciting experiences, we reach Edmonton. So, pinakalas pa, no, hutdon nimo siya tanan og basa para masabtan nimo or para ma-comprehend nimo ang entire story. Kaysa sa katong usa sa loose or cumulative nga wherein no need na kang basa sa tanan ng story kay tungod pagbasa pa lang nimo makasabot na ka sking wala pa ka naabot sa pinakalas. Sa periodic sentence need pa nimo siya basahon tanan for you to understand the story. In a balanced sentence, this one is another sentence pattern. The phrases and clauses balance each other by virtue of their likeness of structure, meaning or length. So, gabalance ang duha. These are two phrases or clauses. They are independent but they balance each other. So, murag mo support siya, mo supplement siya sa usa, ang usa pod mo supplement pod sa usa. No, so he maketh me to lie down in green pastures, and he leadeth me beside the still waters.